man, right now. The whole sky, man, look. It's not one cloud in it, but look. It's not blue, man. It looks like, it's crazy, but it looks like there's a one big coating of haze. Just, I'm not talking about, Jimi Hendrix purple haze now. I'm just talking about, then it's got this haze. I don't know if you can see that, how whitish. Like there's just a white, even coating over the whole sky. Like someone took a can of bug spray and went like a big huge can of bug spray and went or like that fog or stuff that you use to kill fleas in your house. Just like that. Like someone's off in the sky just popping cans of flea spray. I mean, it's I know, when I was a kid, I can remember, how the skies, man, even 10, 15 years ago, how much bluer and crisper it was. And I didn't see Chembo rainbows in the sky. That's a little tiny rainbow that just is out of place. It don't fit. And then it don't look like your regular rainbow. It'll have strange colors, strange tints. You know what I'm saying? That's something personally I call a Chembo. And then I've even seen nanobotical chem snow as well. Basically, it's just weird that like when I seen snow a few years ago, it just all came down. It was all in these weird round, this very round-ish looking, just synthetic looking, almost like styrofoam looking snow. And if you've never heard of something called Morgellons, it's something, they're saying they're finding these synthetic cyborg red blood cells that they find just floating in the air. And they got all these like different, and all these different metals. These it's called nanoparticuli. It's particulates that are so small you can't really see them. But if they dumped a big bunch of them, you could see them when they're clumped together. So aluminum, barium dioxide, or something like that. There's a few pretty good. I think there's a lot of information, dude. If you just look into geothermal engineering, Morgellons, Sophia Strom did a very good documentary on Morgellons. And how it's causing also, not only is it causing people to have this strange, what is that called, man? Allergy to these foreign bodies that seem to be kind of, they're not necessarily a virus, but they're like a fungus, a virus, and a prion, like a crystal. They're like a new kind of life form, almost like a new kind of plant life or plankton of the sky, kind of thing. And she makes a great documentary on Morgellons and the chemtrails and sudden tree death, where there's trees for no reason, a bunch of them will die. Then you look into smart dust and you wonder, is this stuff all just smart dust? I mean, I've even seen how they had a patent to make a flea bomb, where they drop a bunch of fleas out of the sky that are all infected, like let's say with the Black Plague. You know what I'm saying? They just drop them out of a plane and they'd float down and coat the ground. So I mean, that's military patent, and just like I said, my grandpa taught me about way back in the day. They do something called cloud seeding, where they would shoot mortars into the sky that would blow up at a certain altitude. They'd shoot a bunch of them up there and it'd put a bunch of particulates in the sky that make the water clump together, like basically salt, because I think salt absorbs water. So you shoot a cloud of salt up there, it absorbs all the water around the area, and then you have a cloud. It's fucking simple. But yeah, we got a big haze. See, this big haze here in our sky could mean that they're causing a pressure system somewhere else. And I've been seeing all kinds of people talking about how they're having way too much rain. Because that's what the heart machine does, is it heats the ionosphere. A certain section of the ionosphere, it heats it up and it pushes all that water off into space. And you wonder why now there's all these droughts. Well, you keep heating up the ionosphere and pushing all the condensation in the sky off into space. That's not going to be good for the planet. You know what I'm saying? But see, people are so ignorant of that this stuff is actually going on When I mean, it's just obvious. You know what I'm saying? It's not even that hard to figure out. I mean, then again, you know, I've been entertained to a lot of ideas. You know what I'm saying? So it's easier for me to catch some of these things and, you know, and explain it. But yeah, it's crazy, man. You got to look into these things. HARP, geothermal engineering, chemtrails, uh, because I mean, and then you look at this BP oil disaster and how they use this crazy syntax or something, kind of, it's a liquid or it's an oil dispersant is what they called it, but it really was just like mercury that attached to the oil and dropped to the bottom of the ocean. It's crazy. All this, I mean, then you got Fukushima. The news will not speak on Fukushima. Like, if you ignore it, well, it'll go away. It's literally, these people put their heads in the sand, or they want you to. I mean, I'm pretty sure that they're all aware. They got a lot of people. The reasons why they play the game, the musical chairs game, is because they got a seat reserved in the bunkers because they're connected through bloodlines to the aristocracy. You know what I'm saying, of America, and the American royalty, the American pharaohs. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Domes, deep underground military bases. I mean, this seems like not only is there all this man-made disaster and weather warfare, it's also there's biblical prophetic occurrences as well, like with the volcanoes, the pillars of smoke, and the signs in the sun, moon, and stars and sky. It's crazy. Listen, the sun's light shall be darkened. It didn't say necessarily turn black. There is a point, but no, it just says that the moon and the sun will be darkened. And then there comes a point where they will no longer give their light. You know, and that sounds like nuclear winter. You know what I'm saying? And to some extent. But the other night there was a show. I think it was on the 7th. It's on the Hagman and Hagman's. Just type that in on YouTube, Hagman and Hagman's, and there's it was Steve Quayle and another guy was on there, and this was a great show about weather warfare and sky, these sky anomalies and HARP and they were talking about actual patents, documents, information. So I mean, if you're unfamiliar totally, it's a good place to go to get your level up. You know, you can get to level 1. You know, you can know something. You know where to go look next. So, I mean, me personally, I just go outside and look. And then I listen to what the experts say. And then I, you know, put it in my bag of tricks, man. Because they're tricky out here and that they use lies. They're going to try to make you take a microchip and give up your sovereignty to save a climate that they intentionally manipulated. And I mean, that episode totally shows that. So, something to look into.